That's really cool. And let's hold yours. Hold yours, X.
Hold yours up, X.
Hold it for the camera for Mom. Cool. We just got to Helle Knives in Holmedal, Norway. This is Fine Eric, and yeah, we are gonna check it out. We're so excited to be here. We got here a little late because we're driving in crazy Western Norway roads, but we're gonna check out the place. And I've wanted to come here for a long time, so really excited.
Really glad to have you here.
Awesome, thank you for having us.
How many knives we make?
Yeah.
We make roughly 30,000 knives a year.
Whoa.
Which seems like a lot.
That's what a knife.
It's
It's a lot of knives, yeah.
Their knives are very good.
We can head downstairs and look at the big machines first, Max. Do you want to do that?
Yeah.
And since I know that you're a bit into Viking stuff.
Oh yeah.
Well, the place we're walking over now was actually when they expanded the factory. They found a Viking grave. So we're actually standing on top of a Viking grave.
Wow.
There's rumors about, well, my grandfather believed them that there's a ghost of the Viking woman kind of roaming the factory at night. Haven't seen her, unfortunately. Okay, so the start of the knife axe is actually, well, these are sheets of steel. And what happens when you have a sheet of steel or of steel is that a lot of people think that all knives are forged, and most of it is actually stamped.
Wow.
So this is, so you stamp out the basic shape of the knife.
Oh wow.
It's a wire teeth.
So these are the leftover of the steel after you stamp out the knife shape. So you use the machine over here, which is a really old machine. And so you stamp down the basic shape, and then you're left with a blade that looks, this one you can touch because it's sharpened yet. So it looks a bit like this. It looks like a knife. Wow. But it doesn't have an edge on it. So that's our number 77. Sorry?
Daddy, this was 77.
77? How cool.
You can keep having it.
Sure?
Yes. It's a very safe, it's nothing sharp already.
It's not sharp, Papa.
It's not sharp, okay.
It's not
Safe.
sharp and it's just the stamp.
You can keep it if you want.
Say thank you.
This is my second cousin. He's also in production.
Who's that, Axe? You know his name? Eddie.
Yeah, so after you stamp it out, then it's sent for hardening. Hardening is kind of where the magic happens in terms of knife making.
What this one?
This one is the same as you had. What you can see here is that this is a laminate steel. So this is the traditional Norwegian way of making steels, is that you have two layers of steel. So you have an outer layer, which is highly stainless, and then you have a core layer, which is much higher carbon, which makes the sharp edge. So you see here, it's a lighter color in the center.
So it's 3 pieces of steel stamped together. They still use this machine?
Yeah, it's from 1950s.
From the 50s, yeah.
Wow. All of these machines are from the 40s and 50s. So they were actually all bought from the war affairs in Germany after the Second World War.
I like this place.
He loves his knife.
So now we're in, and we call this the chicken house because it used to be
A chicken house?
Yes. Chickens don't live here anymore. They had to move out
With
because
the
we had to make
chickens.
knives.
Whoa. What's that?
It's wood,
Wood.
and it's the coolest wood in the world. It's a type of birch called curly birch, which is
Here's my knife.
yeah, and you can make a handle for your knife with this one.
That's so cool.
So you make when you have this piece of wood, then you saw it into a piece, and then you can start working it. So then you move from something like this axe, so you're left with something like this, which is the first part of the handle.
That's the beginning of the knife handle.
And then after that, then you start sanding it. So you can, when you feel this handle, you can feel that it's still quite a few. Sorry about giving him that.
No, it's awesome.
Actually goes on the other side. So this is how you make a Scandinavian knife. This one doesn't fit this handle, but it's the same basic idea.
See, it makes a handle. Isn't that cool?
He's the happiest kid in the world right now.
The handle that axe has, it's still quite a bit of work to do on it, because you're moving from that through this to this.
Wow.
That's all done by craftsmen who are sitting working the sanding wheels. So
What
this
knife?
is really where this is the Eggen.
Wow, that's a great handle.
The handle he has is the start of a new one that we're re-releasing called the Futura. So after we've done the sanding, then we do the oils. After that, you leave it to soak for 10 to 12 hours. And then you air dry it first, and then you tumble them in old whiskey barrels.
Wow. And what's that do?
That removes the excess oil, but it also polishes the handles. Because what happens with wood when you oil it is that the fibers will start to rise. And so when you put them in the tumbler, they will strike against each other. So they will
So they polish each other off each other?
Yes.
Wow.
Absolutely.
I think I have this knife that goes with this. Is this a Skog?
Correct.
I have it.
You know your knives.
Yeah. What a crazy factory.
I know.
Actually, it is a kind of.
It is a crazy factory. It's right on the fjord. Isn't it crazy, X? It's right on the water. There's water everywhere.
It's coming from the sky.
Also flying from the sky.
Here you see it. Actually, these are the really old knives. This is the knife that they made 100 years ago when my grandfather started. And then you're kind of moving through time here from the 30s, 40s to the 50s, 60s, and 70s, 80s, 90s.
We filmed with Sammy's on Wild Boys in Russia, actually. Like I remember. It was not, yeah, that was in the middle of nowhere.
Yes.
Like, yeah, they were amazing. Oh yeah.
So this is kind of when we do production, this is where most of the craftsmen are sitting and like working the knives.
Wow.
So you have an assembly area over there and an assembly area just around the corner. So that's the full tang and folding knives that we assemble over there. And then we assemble the traditional ones over here. So you take the knife, you have a knife blade. This one is sharp.
Very
so I
sharp.
have to hold this one. So this, we sharpen the knives before we assemble. So this is already sharp.
Wow, look at this axe.
Then you put it inside here, and then you can build a handle with any material you want. So you can do a complete handle, put an end nut on it, and then it's done. So like here you see one of these multi-material knives that has been assembled. First step has been done through machining, but you still see that it doesn't really feel or look like a finished knife.
Wow.
And so you move from this to this. Just through sanding. So there's a guy sitting here just basically shaping the handle of the knife.
Wow.
Like this.
And that's birch?
This is curly birch, leather, and reindeer antlers. So this is the R model.
How cool.
Which means, so this is arguably the kind of the most traditional of the knives we make today. Arv means heritage or legacy.
Oh wow.
Actually, you want to see a third material that we're also working in. Do you know what a knife typically comes in? Comes in a sheath. So let's look at some leather then.
Yeah, let's look at leather.
Do you know what this is, Ax?
Whoa, look at that.
What animal do you think this comes from?
Cow.
It's a cow.
Cow.
That's correct.
Wait.
It's okay. Don't worry.
Okay.
So
Comes from
this
a
is
cow.
this is a big cow or bull.
And what this one come from?
It's the same. It's all cows. So what we'll do here is cut out the basic shape of the sheet, and then we will glue it and sew it and press it, and then you have something that looks a bit
Whoa.
like this.
Look,
So,
Axe.
if I can borrow your knife, you can put it inside here, and
hold
then you can put it on your belt.
How cool is that?
There's a very important tradition in Scandinavia that each knife should have an individually fitting sheath. Most traditional Scandinavian ones, like the Viking for example, we press them, so we wet press them. So here's a tool. So what you do is basically you take the sheath and then you thread it onto this funny looking tool here. So these are all finished sheaths and finished knives here that are just waiting to be partnered.
I saw the one that the man that worked here for a long time designed.
Yeah.
That seemed to sell out very fast.
It's so really fast. I think it had a really nice story to it.
Yeah, it
People
does.
can kind of relate to, or at least they like the idea of someone working in the same place for 50 years.
Yeah.
Though not many
They do.
people do it these
Yeah.
days, but
Yeah.
still.
Yeah.
Me and my group worked with each other for a long time.
For 50 years as well.
Yeah, almost. But
I
yeah.
remember when Jackass came out in the early 2000s. I was young and a big fan at the time as well.
Oh, thank
We
you.
would run around when we first started.
Yeah,
And we tried to do stuff similar to you guys.
Yeah, we never realized it would turn into a lifelong career or whatever. Lifelong.
But I think that, I mean, at least for me, it didn't look like you were trying to turn
No.
it into a lifelong.
No,
thing.
just
And
when-
that was part of the appeal as
Yeah.
well. It looked like you were having fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think people like because it reminds them of hanging out with their friends.
Correct.
Yeah.
I got a gift. This is the Northern Lights knife.
Northern Lights, yeah, Nordlys in Norwegian. It's a new model that we're releasing next month.
Wow.
So it's a smaller version of the Nord, our biggest full tang knife. It
Wow.
has a slightly smaller blade and the same shape on the handle, but in a smaller package. So
This
it
is
serves
awesome.
the same purpose.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Wow, thank you so. This feels so good.
Yeah.
It's amazing. Thank you so much.
So thank you very much for coming to Holmedal, Chris. It's perfect having you here. We love visitors. We really like showing off what we do, how we make our knives, the kind of process that we use. And everyone who wants to visit us here in Holmedal are more than welcome to come visit us at any time.
It's amazing. Thank you for
Thank you very much.